back to WVHS.
We are glad to be back after the dreaded quarantine.
Yeah, I spent quarantine listening to Shania Twain. Woo, boy. I'm going to marry her someday.
Who? Moving on, here are some announcements. Miss Parker needs bottle caps, orange, blue, brown, and gray for the art department. Senior Portraits Makeup Day is August 19th, and Makeup Fall Picture Day is October 15th. Our next segment is a very special guest with our own superintendent, John Stryker.
I've been in education 31 years now, and I started in Indiana. I was a teacher and a coach. Coached varsity basketball and track and taught industrial arts. And then I'm a runner, so I went out to Colorado and taught out in Colorado. And when I was in Colorado, I happened to teach in the first school in the United States that had internet in each classroom, and that's in the mid-90s. It's many years ago when no one knew about internet. It was brand new. And so because of that, I got into technology leadership. Again, it's a very family-oriented school community, and so that makes a big difference because I have been around, and I know many people that are not in family-oriented school districts, and it makes a difference. At the core of what we do are families, and when you have family as your core, children are important, and therefore a priority is education. Almost each morning, I start in a school building and I go to every single classroom, every single room, office, cafeteria, maintenance shop. I try not to miss any staff member. It takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. But I'm face-to-face, I'm old school. I believe the value of face-to-face conversation cannot be replaced. In fact, I'm a runner. I start I've for the past 35 years, I start every day with exercise. And so for me, it gives me an energy. And so I've been known for having a sense of humor. And I attribute a lot of that to that. I start off each day exercising, so I start off with energy. And even in my high school, I was voted class clown out of about 220 students. So I had to work pretty hard. So I'm a high energy, and I love humor. What I would advise for seniors is you need to work hard. You need to have a plan, a specific vision for what you want to do, and what steps are you taking each day to accomplish that, and you need to work hard in achieving that goal. So have dreams, but each day work hard towards achieving those dreams. Whereas the younger students, freshmen entering high school, to think as if you're a senior. I would say enter the high school with that, knowing that your character and your personality and your routines are going to be shaped. Start shaping them for the vision of what you want to be, even if you think you're young and you're not there yet. Actually, I ran with the Bulls twice in Spain, and when I was in Europe, I went to the Tour de France. It's a big bike race. A lot of people may not know about it, but it's a world stage bike race that goes over France, the country of France, and so we followed that for a while as well, and got to run in the mountains next to the best bike riders in the world, and so that was about 7 or 8 years ago. So that certainly was adventurous, and I'll never forget it.
We at WVHS would like to thank Dr. Stricker for taking time to be interviewed for our broadcast today.
Here's Sarah with our Student Spotlight.
For Student Spotlight this week, we will be interviewing Madison Hathorn. Madison is a sophomore at Vancouver High School. She was a part of VHS Players and was in last year's Fall Play Trapped.
I'm Madison Hathorn. I'd like to build this thing where you can just eat croissants constantly, and you get them for free all the time for everyone because they're the best thing ever. That's all I want, honestly. Cats, because they just seem preppy and just they think they're better than everyone. And I'm not here for that, honestly. Rabbits. Confusing. I'm not sure, honestly. There's a lot of things. There's little things you blow on and then they make a lot of noise. They're annoying. No one likes them. Twilight. They couldn't lick the floor. Fluff. Fluff, yeah. Ross Lynch. Who didn't? I like catch up with a lot of things. Like, a lot of things. Kind of, because, like, there has to be more than just, God had to have made more than just, like, the earth. I don't know. I'm kind of in between. I mean, I kind of believe that it was real, but some people say, I don't know, honestly.
Back to our anchors.
Man, I feel like a woman. Oh, we're back. Thank you, Sarah and Madison, for our student spotlight. Now on to our teacher spotlight with
Andrack.
What's your favorite aspect about teaching?
Getting to know the students.
And what's your favorite color?
My favorite color? Red.
If you couldn't be a teacher, what you gonna do, man?
If I wasn't a teacher, I wanted to be a broadcast journalist. I wanted to be Barbara Walters whenever I was little.
Okay. And what's your favorite dynasty out of China's 5 dynasties?
No idea.
Okay. Do you have any favorite industrial fire alarms?
No, but I heard you guys know what each one is.
Yes, I personally really like the Wheelock 7001T. Word to JGZ. If you have one superpower, what would it be?
I think it would be really cool to be able to fly, because then you can get there faster.
And is it true that on Wednesday you pulled into the First Baptist Church in Biloxi?
On Wednesday?
Yes.
I don't think so.
What's your favorite musical artist?
I haven't been listening to music lately. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts.
Okay, well I have one last question.
My kids would want me to say Taylor Swift, but she's not really my favorite. She's their favorite.
Okay. And are you a round earther, flat earther, or hollow earther?
Round Earth.
Debatable, but and if there was $10 million on the side of a cliff and Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro on the other side, and the one that you didn't pick would fall to its inevitable doom, which one would you pick? Yeah, we out here.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is from Miss McMurray. She's a very epic teacher. She goes to church at First Baptist. She's so good at teaching, it is magic.
Yeah.
I did my summer reading for you. It was very informative, I knew what to do.
Yeah.
I like the suggestions and the book selection. Very informative when she teaches lessons.
Yeah.
Always got a review on quizzes so I can pass all of my quizzes.
Yeah.
Quizzes. Oh yeah, and shout out London Yellow for sending me those ad-libs. Not only was it very introspective, but more importantly, it brought a more jovial aspect to the track.
Thank you,
Andrea.
Miss McMurray, for that song.
Now on to Curly's Corner for sports.
Thank you, anchors. Hey, this is Dylan Crowley in the Crowley's Corner. My good friend Austin here for your weekly sports news.
I'm not even sure why I'm sitting here right now. Does Shania wear a football jersey? If so, I'm gonna be her cheerleader.
Who is Shania? Is she a new student?
I can't even with you. Shania is the one of the most celebrated, vocal, finest talents this world has ever seen.
Yeah, so on to something I know. This week I had the honor to interview our one and only Coach Flint.
Does he know who Shania is? Well, let's go and see.
What are some of your goals for this football season?
Well, I mean, every football season, everybody has the ultimate goal of winning the state championship. But at first, this time of year where it's hot, we're just trying to acclimate our bodies to the heat, and then as the season goes on, we're just trying to get better every day. When you go throughout a season, the main thing is to keep improving.
How do you help motivate your team during this time, this pandemic?
Well, people that's been playing, most of my players have been playing football their whole life, and some just came out. Football's a sport when you play in the heat, and this time of year it's hot already. You got to really want to play football to be able to withstand the climate, if you will. Everybody's dealing with different things with the pandemic at home. Everybody's situation is different. So we just take it as it comes, and like I tell them, it's kind of like God sending rain to a farmer. He plants the fields and he prepares them, but he can't control it. He deals with what God sends him and prepares his fields accordingly. So we're going to prep and prepare ourselves as if the season is going to go as planned, and whatever they send our way, we'll adapt and we'll overcome.
Describe your football team in 5 words.
Well, no matter what team or what sport you're in, there's 2 things you better have. That's great attitude, effort, enthusiasm. That's 3. That's the main 3 I preach. Great character, and that's in school and out there on the field. But, have great character. Play with outstanding effort. Have a good attitude, and be enthusiastic in whatever you do. And the last thing that I preach is show up. Because it doesn't matter if you're playing sports, you got a job, or you're in school. You can't learn, you can't get better, and you can't excel at what you're doing if you don't show up.
That was an awesome interview, Caroli.
Thanks. It was so cool to find out that Coach Fant played for MSU in college for quarterback.
That is pretty epic.
That was a great Caroli's Corner for this week.
Now on to our next segment, Tech Time.
Tech? Who's Tech? You talking about the Tech for the maintenance or the district?
I don't think so.
Hello, I'm Tech, and welcome to the first installment of History with Tech. Today, let's see what the super historical computer chooses. Computer, what are we talking about today? Oh, that's a cool topic. Alright, let's talk about the Winged Hussars and the Siege of Vienna, one of their most famous battles. At the time, the Hussars were considered one of the most elite cavalry in the world. However, the age of pike formations and musket lines were thought to spell the doom of the Hussars. However, the king of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, John III Sobieski, thought different. He resurrected the legacy of the mighty Winged Hussars, raising more regiments of the Hussars to fight the resurgent menace of Europe, the Ottoman Empire. Fast forward a few years to the Siege of Vienna. The Ottomans have held the city under siege for 6 days. Every night, a group of Vietnamese signalmen climb the steps of the city's church to fire signal rockets to signal their dire situation to the relief force they hoped was coming. But today night, something different happens. A sparking rocket answers in the hills. The Winged Hussars have arrived. The next day, towards the evening, along with several thousand Allied cavalry, the mighty Winged Hussars charged the Ottoman Janissary lines. The Janissaries were the Ottomans' elite units. They broke through, completely shattering their siege and destroying their camp. And this also solidified their place as legends of history.
Very interesting to learn a little bit of our history. Thank you, Tech. Maybe next week we can do a segment for my most famous history icon, Shania Twain.
No. And now for weather with Brody.
Good evening, my Glizzy Gladiators. It is I, Broderick, back with the new season of WVHS. You know what? About a week ago we had some mild showers. Just kidding. They weren't mild. They were the best showers a man could ever ask for. I've waited my whole life for showers like that. And you know what? We won't have to wait again, because next week, more showers! More! I hope you enjoy this new season of WVHS with our good buddy, Tech.
you sure that is actually the weather?
We don't have the budget to predict the weather, so who knows?
I hope it rains tonight all next week.
I don't. That sounds painful.
Now on to the shout out and our final segment of the day. Here's Ashley.
Hey, I'm Ashley and welcome to the question of the week. Today we're going to be asking people about their opinions on fashionable face masks. Here's how it went.
What's your opinion on fashionable face masks?
I mean, I think they're cute. People live their life to the fullest, you know?
I personally think that fashionable masks are cool because they are. It's better than seeing like a plain old just like hospital mask or anything. Like my mask is cool. It's got little monkeys on it. Even though people say it's a 5-year-old's mask, I'll take that 5-year-old's mask.
Fashionable face masks are pretty cool, but they don't usually always match with everything unless they're like a solid color. I don't really have very many, but yeah, they're pretty cool.
I think fashionable masks are like, I think they're cute. I don't think they're necessary at all, but I think they're really cute.
I don't have a problem with fashionable face masks as long as they're, within the school regulations.
So, what do you think about fashionable face masks? This has been the question of the week with Ashley. Now back to the anchors.
Thank you, Ashley. I think my mask is pretty fashionable, don't you think?
Yes, very fashionable.
Thank you for tuning in to WVHS. Come back next week for our special guest, Shania Twain.
Really?
No.
Darn. I'm ready to start singing now.
Don't forget, adventure awaits.
Let's go.
Keep quiet now. I'm trying to sleep over here.
Don't want you for the weekend. Don't want you for a night. I'm
Can you
only
please quiet down?
interested if I can have you
I'm
for
trying to
life. Yeah. I know I sound serious. Baby, I am.